Hey BookTube, it's Jackie. How's it going? If you're new to me and this is the first time you're seeing my face, hello, what's up? My name's Jackie. I sit on my floor and I talk about books. So I hope that's why you're here, because that's what's going to be happening today. If you're not new to me, thank you for always tuning in and the continued support. I really do appreciate it. So as you can see from the day's title of the video, this is my 12 and 24 TBR. This is one of my challenges to myself. These are 12 books that I would really like to get to in 2024. Is it going to happen? No fucking idea. Have I ever completed TBR? Hell no. But I'm always up for a challenge. So without further ado, grab yourself a drink, have yourself a seat, and let's get finding out what 12 books I would like to read in this year. Okay, so I cultivated this list based off of a plethora of reasons. The book has been on my TBR for the longest. It's a huge book that intimidates me. When I was walking around trying to find 12 books, these just kept pulling at me. So I don't know if it's because I want to read them right now or because when I look at them, I'm like, yeah, I still want to read that kind of feel. So it's kind of across the spectrum of stuff. And they're all right here. They're all physically owned books that I currently own already. I thought about putting on some books that have been on my just TBR in general that I didn't own. That every time I go in a bookstore and I see, I'm like, man, I really should pick that book up because I want to read it. But I decided to be nice to myself and not make this challenge more difficult than I already know it's going to be by adding the fact that I have to go now buy a book, because I believe down the road I could use it as an excuse to be like, well, I didn't really own the book, so I guess I really didn't want to read it that bad, or I would have bought it earlier. You know, kind of logically, you're trying to reason things out, because I do that. I do that all the time, actually. So I already own all 12 of these books. They were all owned prior to the start of January 1st, which if you're seeing this after January 1st, it went up a few days before. But these are the 12 books that I want to read in 24. So let's just get down right to business and find out what they are. There are no particular order, by the way. Absolutely no particular order. So the first one on top, Don't Come For Me. Don't Come For Me. I already know. One of the main reasons this book is on this list is because it should have already been read, because I was a very bad booktuber during a read-along about 2 years ago, and I never got to it. So that's one of the main reasons why this one was one of the first ones put on this list, and that is A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't read Cassie and Nesta's story yet. Still haven't. So it's on there. It is on there in all of its black and silver glory. Now I was asked to do a vlog of this one, so whenever I do read it, I plan on doing a vlog for this one because everybody really likes my reactions when I read Sarah J. Maas books. I've got a lot of requests for that. So yeah, there's a little bit extra with this book, so whenever I pick it, I will definitely have to, or whenever it's drawn, however I decide to do this. Maybe I'll decide by the end of the video how I'm going to do this. Whenever I get to it, I will definitely be doing a vlog on this one to add to my Sarah J. Maas vlog collection. And I will link that playlist right here if you want to go check it out. You can see all the other books that I've vlogged of hers. So, yeah. Book one. Not in any particular order, though, guys. Not in any particular order. This just happened to be the first one I grabbed. And since, you know, I might as well just do this. Let's get the humiliation and the shock value out of the way right now. Let's just get it out of the way. The second book on this list is Sarah J. Maas's House of Sky and Breath. I haven't read it yet either. I did start reading this one last year and I never got back to it. And again, this is another one that was asked for a vlog as well to vlog it. So whenever I do get to it, I will vlog it. Now I do have to get to this one a little bit earlier than this one, because I know for a fact this one's third book is coming out in 2024, and it's rumored that a new book in this world is coming out. I heard one blurb and all it said was 2024, so I have no fucking idea. But I know for a fact I need to get to this one. This one is a little bit more on a time constraint because this new book is coming out, I want to say in November. I could be wrong on that, so don't hold to me what I'm saying here. I will look it up and I'll put it in the down box Actually, I'll put it right here when it actually is coming out. But right now, off the top of my head, I think it's November. But what I type here, that's when it's actually coming out. So I have to have this read before then. And again, it will be a vlog. Now, the first book, though, I did not vlog. I actually did a full book review on that one. So it'll be kind of interesting to have a reviewed book and a vlog book in the same series. So that'll be fun. My OCD is not screaming in pain because of that. Yeah. So those are the only 2 Sarah J. Maas books on the list, guys. They're the only 2, because of the last 2 I have to read from her. Shocker. All right, so let's get down to the other books. So this was actually planned for last year to do a whole vlogged series, kind of playlist of, and that is the Zodiac Academy. And I never got to the first one. So, of course, I couldn't read the rest of the series or vlog the rest of the series because I never got to the first one. So I put the first one on the Want to Read by 2024. If I still do a vlog of this, I don't know. That's still up in the air. But if you guys like to see a vlog of this entire series, because I think this series has enough surprise factors that it might be a pretty reactionary read based off of what I've seen in reviews of this whole series, like down the road, not specifically this book, but like other books in the series. If you'd like to see that, let me know if that's still something you guys would be interested in. But this is going to be on the list of 20 to read in 2024. It's on there. When I get to it, I don't know, guys. I don't. None of these have I plans for when I'm possibly getting to them. It's just sometime in the year. We'll figure out how I'm going to do that at the end. Yeah, but Zodiac Academy, The Awakening by Caroline Peckham and Susan Valenti. It's back on a list. It's back on there. And all its shiny Zodiac Gemini looking glory. Yay. So, all right. Next one. This one hasn't made an appearance on a TBR in quite a while. It was really big on BookTube a hot minute ago, and I never read it. And it was actually, I believe, in 2022 on my must-read 2022 shelf. And I didn't read it then either. So, yeah. But I've heard fantastic things about this series. And I've heard it's very bloody, it's very gory, and very, a lot more action-oriented than people thought it was going to be. And that is The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. I do have their new series, but I have not read this one, and I would like to read this one before I read the next series. I think Babel is the book that came out last year. I would like to read this entirety of the series before I get to that one, so I'm putting the first one on the shelf. Now, also, this is the only one of this series that I own, because I stopped being able to find the hardcover, so I actually have to go out and buy the rest of the series if I like this enough to do it, but I would like them in hardcover because that's just a thing that I have. They have to match. They have to match people. It's just a thing. So, yeah, it's on the list. It's on the list. High fantasy. I don't know if it's YA. I don't know if its category is YA or not. But I believe it's... This is not the one story I'm thinking of. Yeah, she's a peasant, she's a student, she's a soldier, she's a goddess. Well, she apparently is everything. Fuck, she's Barbie. So, you know, there you go. Yeah, it's on the list. It's on the list. And it's on there because when I walked by it, I was like, you know what? I want to give it another shot. That's the reason I picked this one. Other than that, just gut reaction to put it on there. That's why it's on there. Like I said, these books are on here for all different kinds of reasons, whether I've tried them before, or they just never got to it, and I still feel the need to read them. Like this next one. This was on a TBR in 2023, and I never got to it, and it still pulls to me. Every time I look at this book, it screams, it should read me. But on top of that, it also sits right at the very top shelf of this bookshelf that I'm sitting in front of. And it's the first book that I see. So, and it looks like this. Like, how can you not be attracted to this? This is Booth by Karen Joy Fowler. This is the story of John Wilkes Booth's family and what happened after the assassination. After the assassination of President Lincoln. So, American history, historical fiction. It's a gorgeous cover. I've wanted to read this since I bought it, and I hauled it last year, and I just never gotten around to it. So I'm going to put it on this list, and fingers crossed that I do complete this list, and I will get to put this one on my belt, because I feel like I'm really going to really like this one. I don't know why, but I just feel something that I'm going to really, really like it. And sometimes that's how it is, guys. Sometimes you just have that feeling and you just have to go with it. So let's go with it. To stick with the historical fiction route, this is the book that has been on my TBR the longest on this list. Yes, I've had this book the longest out of all of these books, and that is Kristin Hannah's The Night Andale. I actually hauled this book in 2016 when I originally started this channel. I hauled it on this channel, and that video doesn't exist anymore because I deleted all those. But I remember loving the buttery cover of this. Like, I remember going like this. Butter. Like, because it's that nice buttery soft cover. But this is a World War II historical fiction. And I have been told by many people that I will love Kristin Hannah's writing. I will be obsessed with it, especially since I like historical fiction. And there's a lot of other books that she's come out with that are in her wheelhouse that look really, really interesting. But I would really like to read this one first because I own it. And I would like to see, and it was highly praised for a long time. So I'd like to give this a shot. So it's on the list, guys. It's there. It's there again. Again, it's on the list. But hopefully this year will be the year that I get to it. Fingers crossed. The next book, this made appearance on a couple TBRs last year, and I never got to it, and I still want to. I still look at this book, and I want to read it, because I want to continue on with this series, because there's a vampire series that spins off of this one, and from what I read, you have to read these series in order, so I want to read this one, and that is The Longing of Lone Wolves by Lana. I still can't say her last name. Still can't say it. Now, the thing with this one, this was also on a series to start video back in 2023. This was a series I wanted to start. I did not. I put it on, I think, 2 or 3 TBRs. I even started to buddy read it with Becky, and she DNF'd it because it was giving her way too many ACOTAR vibes, and it was kind of like a ripoff of ACOTAR, and I believe is what the word she used. I could be wrong, but I still want to read it. I still do. I still do, and I want to know what the hype is. And I also just think this book is stunning with all the artistic renderings in it. I think they're gorgeous. So it's on the list. It's on the list. Hopefully, fingers crossed, this is the year that I get to it. So here we go. I think I've said that hopefully this is the year I get to it by every single book so far. So I apologize for the repeat over and over and over again. But my track record with TBRs is not fantastic, guys. I'm fully aware that my track record sucks with TBRs. So I picked books that gave me emotions when I looked at. And that's one of the main reasons I put a lot of these books on here. They all have other reasons, but they drew something out when I was looking at them. And I wanted to. The next book is also an old one. It's been on my TBR for a long time, but I also want to start watching the show. I have been kind of going through my downward slump. Sometimes you want to forget and escape, and books weren't allowing me to escape anymore, and TV was. So I've been kind of binge watching the shit out of a lot of shows, and this show is on Netflix, and I have always been intrigued by it, but I knew I didn't want to watch it until I read the book, because I feel like I'm going to enjoy the book more than the show, and that is Caroline Kepnes's You. I have owned this book as long as probably the Kristin Hannah book, maybe a few months shy of owning the Kristin Hannah book. So this is the second most senior book on this TBR on my shelf. And I want to start watching the show. So I can't watch the show until I read this book. I'm usually really good about that. So I know I'm good about not starting the show, but I really want to. So hopefully that will propel me to read this. Now, there's a funny story about this book. So you see this line right here. I don't know if you can see, you see it right here. Okay. So when I bought this book, I bought it off of Book Outlet, and I cut open the box. This book was on top. And when I hauled this book, again, this video does not exist because I deleted it, but when I hauled it, I saw this and I was like, oh, no, my book is ripped. And then I remembered that I cut the box open. So I actually did this myself. Has anyone ever done that? Has anyone ever done that? But when I was looking at the book originally, when I cut the box, but I didn't think anything of it. I thought it was just part of the design of the book until I realized that it didn't go all the way through. It just went in sections, and I'm like, oh, that's me. Shit. And then I confirmed it when I saw the actual hard copy of the book in a store, and it didn't have the tear. I damaged my own book. So I feel like I should probably read this book because I've never apologized to it. So it should be read because it was harmed by me. So it's on the list. The next one, actually, I was pretty surprised when I decided to put this on here, believe it or not. And the reason why is because I read Slewfoot last year by this author, and I really enjoyed it. You never saw me read it because I didn't do any weekly wrap-ups about it, but I'm pretty sure I gave it like 3 or 4 stars. And I had already owned another book by this author that I wanted to read at Christmas time, and I never got around to reading it. I actually attempted to start reading it during a bowling tournament, but trying to read during a bowling tournament is almost impossible, by the way. Almost impossible because it's loud and it screams, and I didn't realize people cheered during bowling tournaments, like actual cheerleading chants and stuff like that. It's a real thing, guys. There is some serious smack and shit talking at bowling tournaments. Holy shit. Holy crap. And these are high schoolers. I was like, whoa. I thought I had a filthy mouth. Fuck. Yeah. But anyway, I digress. So I tried reading at that bowling tournament and never got around to it. So, but I really enjoyed the writing and the artistic prose that this author used in Slewfoot. So I picked Krampus by Brom to be on this list. Now, am I going to read this at Christmas time? There's a good possibility, probably going to be one of the last ones on the list to read because it's Christmas related. But you know what? I might need a nice little Christmas boost or something. And I like Krampus, and the art in this cover is stunning. And there's art renderings in Slewfoot. There's not, oh, there is art in this too. So yeah, there's art in here too. I just really liked the macabre that the macabre tone that this author writes in, and I'm hoping for good things with this one. I know someone who really enjoys a lot of their books, and they said that almost all of their books are good except for one. They don't recommend one of them. I can't remember what the title was, but this was one of the ones that was definitely recommended. And so I thought, you know what? Let's put Krampus on there. He doesn't get enough love, okay? Maybe he wouldn't be so grumpy if he got more love. So, Krampus by Brom is now on the list as well. All right. We got 3 more, guys. 3 more. And this next one, this was my anniversary present, and I want to read it, and I was asked to do a review on it, so I'm putting on the list because I still want to fucking read this book, even though I've already been spoiled for this book, because how could you not? Because it's the untold story of, you know, the woman in me, Britney Spears. Like, it's almost impossible not be spoiled for what's going on in this book now. But I still want to read this, and I still would like to do a review on it because I was asked to, and I think that'd be really interesting to do a review on a biography. Let me just review your life, okay? Let me just do that for you. So, yeah, this one's on the list too. Again, don't know when I'm going to get to it, but sometime in 2024. Now, these next 2, I was actually surprised when I put these on here too, because this book, I don't even know if I ever hauled it on this channel. I think I might have gotten it and just never hauled it. Maybe, I'm not quite for sure. But it is a YA book. It's a YA book. I also tried to hit every single one on my shelves. I tried. I was not successful about it, but I tried. And when I was in the YA section of my book collection, this is the one that had the most pull. And it's These Violent Delights by Khloe Gong. I have another book of hers that I got from Book of the Month, and I have not read. But I do have 2 books by this author. And I want to say this is a Romeo and Juliet in, like, Asia. Like an Asian Romeo and Juliet. I want to say that's what this is. I could be totally wrong. And we all know how I feel about Romeo and Juliet. It's not my favorite Shakespearean story, but reading all of the Blakely's One for My Enemy last year, which is a Romeo and Juliet retelling with a lot of other Shakespearean references thrown in, kind of maybe pushed me in the way of me reading a few more Romeo and Juliet retellings, because I really enjoyed that book. It was one of the top books of my year. Really, really enjoyed it. So I thought, okay, let's give another Romeo and Juliet retelling. Let's give it another shot. So we're going to give it a shot. Now, it is YA, and we all know how I feel about YA books, so I might just be annoyed. I don't know, but we're going to find out. But this cover, it's damaged because I bought it from Book Outlet, and sometimes you get damaged books, and it's fine. They're like $3, guys. I can't really be pissed off. But this cover, like, seriously, stunning image, stunning, absolutely gorgeous. I would really like to know what the significance of, ooh, I could take the dust jacket off and still have a stunning book. Yeah. Okay. All right. I see you. I see you. I see you. Okay. Yeah. It's there. It's there. She was noticed. She was noticed. And the last book is because everybody I know has read this book. And they all think it's fantastic. And I want to read it to see what the big hype is about. And that is Haunting Adeline by H.D. Carlton, Volume 1. I do have Volume 2, so if I love this, I can go right into Volume 2. But yeah, this is the stalker book that everyone raves about and blows up TikTok, and there's all these little, you know, clips and tidbits ripped from it. Yeah, so we're gonna give it a shot. Finally, it's on the list. Yeah, but I also love the motif. Like, this is just poetry. I do like the artistic styling of this book for sure. Yeah, The Manipulator and The Shadow. We'll see what I think. There we go. Okay, so those are all 12 books that are on my to be read in 2024. So like a plethora of genres, reasonings, most of them because I had a feeling when I walked by them that I'm like, I need to read this. It's time. Or it's, I haven't read this yet and I really need to start reading it and get off my ass. A lot of different reasons, just a lot of different reasons that went into it. But how am I going to go about picking each book each month? I can just grab a book. I could roll a dice for a book, which means I have to adhere numbers to each book, which I might still do. I'm not quite for sure. Or I could maybe pose it to a poll for you guys. And until I make up my final mind about what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to poll it to you guys for January's book, because I'm going to try to do at least one book a month. Obviously, there's 12. That's the most logical way of going about doing this. So I'm going to put a poll up after I upload this video, and it will be done on January 1st when I upload my January TBR. Obviously, you know, first of the year, let's start this off right. Let's do this right. Let's get this year going in the right direction. But I'm going to enter a poll with the top 3 that I'm feeling right now. And we'll see which one wins. So I'm gonna let you guys decide which is the first book of my 12 that I get to read. And we'll see what happens. Okay? So keep your eyes out for that poll, and I will see you guys all soon with another video. Good luck in your 2024 goals.